Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be NFL Picks Week 9. I'm being a little bit quieter right now because my family is trying to sleep right now, so I don't want to really disrupt them, especially since it's almost, well, no, it conveniently just hit midnight over here. So, trying not to wake them up. So we have Sam back on the channel today. No Calvin or Jacob today. Calvin still have yet to have Sam meet Calvin, but he had some stuff he needed to do as well as Jacob. He was busy all day, so it'll just be us two again today. But as I said, we bring to you picks for NFL Week 9, which we already had our Thursday night game, which was one of the most boring games of the week, which was the Colts and the Jets. As you can see, Colts won 45-30. Not like anyone really was surprised by that, other than the fact that the Jets nearly made a comeback. But that's beside the point. Also, a couple things I wanted to note. So as I said, or as most of you know, Calvin is now on the channel. He is new to us all, so congratulations on Calvin joining the group. Really enjoy his company, and also he's a Michigan State fan, so it's not all Wolverine fans on the channel now. So, and also next week and this week there will be a lot of videos coming out. So obviously we are doing this one right now for the NFL. We have NCAA football top 25 reviews and picks coming out. That is done on Jacob's end. I don't have any of like Jacob's fancy backgrounds or anything. I don't even know how to do that, so I just have the boring look here. But Sam doesn't care. Doesn't care. He's good with anything. But and we also.
I can't ever see it anyway when we're recording. All I see is your handsome looking face, Mitchell. So.
Oh well, thank you so much. But we also next week we will be having NCAA basketball. Yeah, NCAA basketball is starting up now. Actually, in 4 days now. It begins on November 9th, which will be the same day of the State Farm Champions Classic with the Kansas, Michigan State, Kentucky, Duke games, and right in between will be the college football playoff rankings. So we'll be doing college basketball probably on Monday, so we can get those picks in, and well, in between those will be the playoff rankings. Which, gosh, this past week was awful. But that's all I really have to say. But just so you know, we got a lot of videos coming out. We also still need to get out NCAA football midseason reviews. And then NFL, which is now going to be next week, because I said we'd do that after week 9. We're only like 3-4 weeks overdue on, or I think it's 2. But either way, we're very overdue on NCAA football midseason stuff. So we're trying to get that done. We've all been pretty busy. So, and also obviously all the content, as well as now we'll have to do an MLB video because that season's over. So obviously, a lot of stuff to do for us. So expect a lot of activity on the channel, a lot of stuff to watch, a lot of stuff coming out. Anyways, that's all for me talking. Finally, we get to pick our games. So we all picked the Colts. Not really a surprise. I don't have Calvin or I don't have Calvin or Jacob's picks. They're not here. They didn't send me anything, so I'll just be picking me and Sam's games. But we both had the Colts. I'm assuming they probably will too. But now we go to the Cleveland Browns on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals, who for some reason lost to the Jets. The Jets' 2 wins are the Titans and the Bengals. Makes absolutely no sense. But Cleveland has a lot of injury problems. Bengals, I don't really know what to think of Cincinnati, especially after what happened against the Jets. And they didn't have Zach Wilson, and they're starting a guy named Mike White. So the Browns obviously are having issues, of course, with Odell Beckham Jr. His dad's calling out Baker Mayfield, so that whole saga is also another thing not in the Browns' favor. This is one that'll go either way. I think this is going to be a good one. I give the edge to the home team. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think there's too much going on for the Browns, too many injuries, too many issues for them to overcome this one, especially in Cincinnati. Give me the Bengals on this one.
Yeah, really. Um, see the Bengals or it, but offense. And be a dang touchdown to Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. And a lot of their drives are in a situation where they that's going to have to do the playoffs to be a playoff team to have sustained. But and the Browns are having issues of their own. Obviously, they just
They beat the Steelers, or no, they lost the Steelers. I'm sorry.
they, you know,
It was at home, yeah.
it was, no. Anyway, they did just come home, and the Steelers are not a very impressive team. Just like I think the Broncos are a pretty big team, and we saw the Browns the Broncos is a close game actually.
But
So
Browns are
I
losing over half their team.
I just like it's the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to take this one at home.
All right, and our next one is, speaking of, the Denver Broncos on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas ended up winning last week on Halloween. By the way, happy belated Halloween, everybody. Uh,
Mouthful.
yeah, there you go. Happy Halloween, happy belated Halloween, everyone. Hope you got a lot of candy. I kind of did because I was at my church helping out with a bunch of stuff, and they had a bunch of leftover candy, so they gave us whatever was left. I still haven't really touched it yet. But we got the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are playing very well. As I said last week on Halloween, they did not have Dak Prescott, and they still beat the Minnesota Vikings with Cooper Rush, which shout out to Cooper Rush out of Central Michigan. Well done, sir. Yes, did a great job. But Denver also, obviously. Now, if you're wondering if we're going to be doing a NFL trade deadline episode, we would if anything happened. But nothing did, except for Von Miller getting traded from Denver to the Rams. Other than that, really was nothing. But obviously, that's the big deal. Denver now without Von Miller is going to be a much different looking team. I think they're playing for the off season. I don't think they say. I think by that trade, they think they can't compete and they're getting whatever they can out of Von Miller, which signals to me that they believe the year is over, which is why I'm taking Dallas, especially in a home setting, to wipe out this Bronco team.
Recall 8 years because the NFC and AFC teams they meet each other the same teams. 8 years ago, Peyton Manning brought the Broncos into Dallas, and I don't know if you remember where he jumped the entire stadium on the QB himself to the end zone. That was a funny play to watch. Peyton Manning, the zone read for Peyton Manning. That's the Broncos are not. They're much the worst because they don't have Joe Burrow. They have Teddy Bridgewater. It's not quite as good as quarterback. Their defense and they lost Von Miller, so that's a huge blow. The Cowboys get Prescott back this week, so that's going to be huge. And the Cowboys they're just going to roll over down most likely.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the Thanksgiving games just recently, and I was like, who's Dallas playing? I know the Lions are playing the Bears, which actually Yeah, I was about to say, but I was looking at the schedule and I'm like, "Wow, who is Dallas playing?" And they're playing the Raiders. That's gonna be a really good Thanksgiving game. I'm telling you right now, that should be a lot of fun. I mean, I know Henry Ruggs is out for those Raiders now, but he didn't make any difference to the team. Let's just not be honest right now. So
Ironically enough, I'm out of town when the Raiders are in town.
yep, makes perfect sense. But now we have the Houston Texans on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Battle of the bottom teams right here. Miami having probably the this might be Miami might actually be the biggest disappointment this year after going 10-6 last year. All of a sudden 1-7. I mean, just a miserable year for Miami. Houston, everybody knew Houston would be this pitiful. But I'm taking Miami in this one. I mean, they've been bad, but Houston is worse, way worse. They have way too many problems. They're not good. They're not a good team. They're a mess still. Miami has not been playing well, but I think they're at least good enough to beat Houston.
Yeah, at least Miami has a stable quarterback. Whenever I watch Davis Mills play, I cringe every time I watch him take a snap. Because I really don't believe he should be a quarterback. Um, can I ask? Because I don't really follow the Texans that well. What happened to Tyrod?
Yeah, I believe he's hurt still right now. I don't know if he was hurt and then they just decided to keep in Davis Mills, or if he's still hurt and they just are still playing Davis Mills.
Yeah, I watch Davis Mills. So honestly, it's just I can't watch it. But somewhat competent quarterback. I mean, when they lost to the Falcons a couple weeks ago, they showed promise. I mean, Tua had 4 touchdowns. He still had 4 touchdowns. Um, and I think the yeah, he's going to come out top.
All right, and oh yeah, so he is. Oh, they actually Tyrod Taylor is starting against the Dolphins. He's coming off of IR. So Tyrod Taylor
Oh,
is just now coming back this week. I'm still taking Miami, by the way. Um, are you sticking with the Dolphins?
it's tough now. They actually have a quarterback.
Hmm. Because they actually
That
have a
good.
quarterback.
Might be a little bit close. Oh, dang. Yeah,
All right. And now we have the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the New Orleans Saints. Saints are coming off a huge win last week against the Tampa Bay Bucks, which I don't understand what it is with Tom Brady and losing to Eli Manning. I think it was he loses to Eli Manning, Philip Rivers, and then the regular season Saints. There was something on Instagram when I saw that, and I was like, "What? What? Yeah, why is that?" There's literally those three that give Brady problems. What is that? Why? Why is it those three things specifically? Because if you have, because it seems as if you're the regular season Saints, Philip Rivers, who is now retired, or Eli Manning, who is now retired, that gives Brady problems. Why? Anyway, I don't
really, I
know.
never did that. It seems like uh, and Drew Brees is on the Saints. I mean, obviously, they're Drew Brees would be the other quarterback. All of those guys on the verge of retirement. They end up retiring very recently. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I don't want to retire. I need to play in those games. And then that's just very unthinking.
Possibly. And personally, honestly, I'm just gonna say this. You bring up Drew Brees. I love having him on Sunday night. I absolutely love it. I know. I am a big Drew Brees person. I love Drew Brees as a player. I love seeing Drew Brees play.
Drew Brees is a person.
Oh yeah, that too. I love him as a person as well. I just love him. Period. He's an outstanding player, outstanding guy, and I absolutely I love having him on Sunday Night Football because I already love the guys there. Period. And now you put Drew
Tony
Brees in
Dungy
there,
is awesome. Al Michaels and Chris
Chris
Collinsworth are great.
Collinsworth. Everything on NBC is just amazing. I love watching the Sunday night stuff. But now we have the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Um, you know, Give me the Saints. This is going to be another blowout. Atlanta honestly has been playing a little better. They haven't looked actually as bad as many people thought, but they're still not a good team, at least compared to the Saints. I think the Saints win this one pretty handily.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. I really think it's a drop-off game because that is what has happened. They blow out the Packers, and then they go and lose.
Well, Carolina actually looked good for a while until they fell off a cliff and they lost
No,
McCaffrey.
They didn't look good. They played the Texans and the Jets. So, no, they did not look good. And they also lost the Giants.
Well, you gotta think the first 3 weeks that they played, they had McCaffrey. Then they lost McCaffrey, and their entire season went down the drain.
Did they have to bench Sam Darnold against the Giants?
Yeah, they did.
That beat the Falcons last week, which also makes no sense. I don't understand. But this is one talking about over the same for a really big eye beating Tom Brady, beating the Buccaneers. And yeah, Panthers and the Giants. Real, real bad. But we'll go with the Falcons. At this
Hmm. That is a huge upset if it were to happen. But the next one is the Raiders, Vegas, on the road against the New York Giants. I know who Sam's picking, but I'm gonna go with them too. I'm taking the Raiders. The Giants. I don't care if they played close with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have no defense, and they really have not played well. The Giants are still trash. The Raiders are playing well. I don't care if Ruggs is gone. Ruggs doesn't make a difference to that team. So give me the Raiders to beat the Giants.
in the past couple of weeks and finally figuring out that he's a downfield threat. Like they used him last year, but then they forgot about him at the beginning of the season, and now they're using him. They started using him again, and then he's. I don't know if they what the news is, but Henry Ruggs did something extremely stupid and extremely dangerous. And if I find out if any one of my close friends or anybody knew who five, I will slap them in the face. This is what he did. Most likely, we don't know if he was drunk driving or whatever, but he got up to 156 miles per hour.
That should tell you he's drunk.
156 inches. He crashed and resulted in injuries for a woman. Like, that is not at all. He had his right mind. So um, he's looking in prison. So he will never be playing football again. But pathetic, simple, pathetic, or is that it?
Oh gosh, that'd be weird.
That would be something. But I think the Raiders have this pretty handled. You look at the oh my gosh, you look at the injury report list. The Raiders had that were on the report list, and the Giants one, five, 6, 10, 11.
with Saquon Barkley being out.
Yep. With an ankle slash COVID.
Everyone's getting COVID. What is that?
Yeah, I don't
Rodgers
know.
got COVID. AJ Green got COVID. Noah Fant got COVID. Apparently Barkley has COVID. Everybody's getting COVID. Dang.
Yeah, Galladay says Sterling Shepard is out with the Kyle Rudolph. Just no players that are out. Yeah, Rudolph, Barkley, Galladay's questionable, but I don't know if he'll play. But Barkley and then they should pro having some real
Nightmare.
winner. That's all I'm saying. I will take the Raiders.
All right. And then we have the New England Patriots coming off a shocking upset last week against the LA Chargers. I still want to call them San Diego. They should still be the San Diego Chargers. Why did you move to Los Angeles? Why? Why didn't you just stay in San Diego? I really miss the San Diego Chargers. I really do. But anyways, New England Patriots on the road against the Carolina. Well, there's actually there was reason from obviously everyone wants to move to Vegas, so I mean it made a little bit of sense for them to move, but yeah, I don't know why the NFL just didn't decide to make it an expansion team. Let's make Vegas and somebody else. I don't know, but it made. I saw him move to Vegas. And I'm like, yeah, well, everyone wants to move to Vegas
Only thing
now.
I agree with is the LA move, the Rams moved to LA. I like that one. St. Louis just seemed like
Who really
seemed
cares,
like
honestly?
a boring team. LA looks exciting now, and they got the new field, which is really nice. But yeah, anyway, that's the side note. Back to the game.
Yeah. But the New England Patriots, after their shocking win against the Chargers, playing the Carolina Panthers, it's up in the air whether Christian McCaffrey will play in this game, but to me, it's McCaffrey or bust for the Panthers. This team, they win with McCaffrey or they lose without McCaffrey. There is no in between. I mean, yeah, they beat the Falcons. That's the Falcons, guys. So I don't know if Chuba Hubbard will be starting for the Panthers or if Christian McCaffrey will be starting for the Panthers. But this is a home game for Carolina. It really is a 50-50. I'm going to take the Patriots because I cannot see the Panthers winning without McCaffrey. And if McCaffrey is out again, which, I mean, the guy, when he gets hurt, he almost never comes back, apparently. It seems as though he always aggravates his injuries somehow. But Patriots, I think, will take this one. If McCaffrey comes back, I'll probably still just stick. You know what? Yeah, I'm just sticking with the Patriots, period.
I agree. Patriots are
Go figure.
I guess the Chargers win, and somebody else. I don't know. The three on the road. Shows Belichick knows how to play on the road. Apparently not at home, but this year. It just depends on the opponents. And yeah, we have to go to the Patriots as well. Consistent, obviously, like the Patriots seem to have found a rhythm, and I think they really found that rhythm, honestly. Back. Um, above average quarterback in that team. They played pretty well against Dallas. Played really well against the Chargers. They played really well against the Jets, obviously. Um, that's 4 games in a row. They played pretty decent after an anemic start to the season. So I think they'll get above 500 this week.
Yeah, the Patriots' road wins are the Jets, the Chargers, and then the Texans. The Texans are the other road win for the Patriots. But now we have our next game here, which is a matter of how many points they put up on this poor team. The Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. How much does the Buffalo put up on Jacksonville?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah,
Let's go with a solid 52.
yeah. I'm just going to roll through this one. We're both picking the Bills. I don't think we need to explain why.
See how many points Seattle put up on the Jaguars? That's without
Yeah, Geno Smith put that much up on Jacksonville. That should tell you all about what Buffalo's about to do to Jacksonville. So we go to the next one, which is actually it might be a decent game. The Minnesota Vikings on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Minnesota just obviously lost to Cooper Rush and the Cowboys, the Dallas or the Dak Prescottless Cowboys. So that doesn't look good. But Baltimore, they have they're missing Latavius Murray. Ravens actually have looked pretty good. I think this could be a interesting game. I think this is not one to be overlooked, but I still think Baltimore will take it. I think they're the better team, but I don't. I think they don't need to get. But if they get into their heads that they're better than the Vikings, they'll be in trouble.
another fun fact. Two fun facts of this game. Or two fun facts about the Vikings first. The Vikings have scored the opening possession. All, um, and then they have possession games all season long. Three of them being wins. 8 years ago, these two teams played in Baltimore. And, some pretty heavy snow. And I remember I believe in the last 3 minutes of the game, they had about 6 wind changes. It was touchdown, touchdown, 2 minute warning, touchdown, 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 and I think the Ravens came out on top that time. That was a wild game. I believe it was the days of Joe Flacco, and I don't even know who the quarterback for Minnesota is, but it's definitely the days of Joe Flacco for the Ravens. And now we got Vikings and Ravens. The Vikings, they just they play close with the Cardinals. They play close with the Bengals. This will be close. There's no doubt. The Vikings are playing. This game's going to be close, but the Ravens will pull it off.
All right, and now our next one, as we enter the 4 o'clock window, we have four. We have three 4 o'clock games this week. We have also four teams on bye, so we don't have as many games as we normally would because, of course, teams are on bye. There's not as many games. But we have now at the 4:05 game this week is the LA Chargers, as we were talking about earlier, on the road against the Philly Eagles. Chargers really have not looked good lately. Dropping that game to the Patriots doesn't look good. Also, they dropped one before that against Oh yeah, they got swamped by Baltimore. Um, yeah, so they have not looked good, but the Eagles. I don't care if they trounce the Lions. That's the Lions. That's a free win for any team that plays them. And yes, that includes the yeah. So I'm gonna take the Chargers to win this one. I don't care how badly the Eagles blew out the Lions. The Chargers could do it by even more. I think LA will get themselves. I think the Chargers will get themselves back on track here. Getting a win in Philly would be a nice win for them, and they get their season back on track, which they desperately need to right now.
I think um, this game will be close. I think Dallas Goddard is really going to expose the Chargers. The Chargers have a lot of trouble covering the tight ends. They have trouble with Waller. They have trouble with Fant. They have trouble with Kelsey. They always have trouble with the tight ends. And Goddard has really shown up in the absence of Zach Ertz.
Who got traded away?
Right, right. That's what I meant by the absence.
The only other
Traded
big
away.
trade of the trade deadline.
don't know if it happened at all at the deadline, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, ended up so it's really with the Eagles game like they have the past couple of games. I think against Lions for sure, and they used to which is the game a little bit. The offense not look well against the Raiders though. It's gonna be close. The Chargers by 1.5 points. Take the Eagles win yet this year.
And you're giving the Eagles their first. I'm sure Steven will be very happy with that. And so now our next one is now is an interesting one. Well, been really was a really good one at the beginning of the year, but it's even more interesting now as the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers head into Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, last week obviously Green Bay was missing a lot of guys due to COVID, uh, but they still beat the Cardinals. And many people say, "Oh, the Cardinals are frauds." They went 7-0 through the first 7 weeks. No, they're not frauds. Let me tell you something about Green Bay. I think many people I think so many people don't appreciate how good Aaron Rodgers really is. I hate the guy, but he is an unbelievable player. He's a clown and he says a lot of crap that really annoys the crap out of pretty much everybody around us. But as a player, he makes everybody else better. And I'm saying that because you have seen guys who are just like Robert Tunyon. No one had ever heard of who in the world Robert Tunyon was until last year when Rodgers started throwing the ball to him. Guys like Alan Lazard, no one knew who the heck Alan Lazard was. And then all of a sudden he goes into Green Bay and boom, he has decent years. And of course, Davante Adams has turned into an all star with how many times Rodgers has been throwing him the ball. And even when he didn't have Davante Adams against the Cardinals, what did he do? He found other people. Aaron Rodgers is the heart and soul of this team. It's why they win games. Without him, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. They've played with Aaron Rodgers now for almost 16, 17 straight years, and he hardly misses any games. So they're used to having Rodgers just throw everywhere all over the field. Jordan Love, he hasn't started in his NFL career in a regular season game. And they want him to go and win a game in Arrowhead? I can't see that happening. And, as a Lions fan, this might sound very Homer esque, but I have the Chiefs. I know Kansas City has not been playing well, but you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelsey, you have, I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be healthy yet, but you still have Mahomes and Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and a suspect Packer defense. So I have the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are now favored by like 8, 10 points, which I think is ridiculous. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will take this one, especially with the Packers now missing Rodgers, and they might be missing other people because they're on COVID lists now. So many issues for Green Bay, but obviously being highlight Aaron Rodgers gone is a major problem.
Seriously, Aaron Rodgers could literally look at someone, take them off the street, Packers, put a uniform on, throw them the ball, and make them a Hall of Famer. That's how good he is. Besides annoyingly good for us. Wait, what? I don't know.
Hmm.
That shows his he's got years left. Um, quarterback. I don't this contract, I believe, correct?
I believe this is his last year.
This is his last year, and he's scary.
Hmm.
All over the test. Test for the Packers. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers was under Brett Favre for how long? 5, 6 before he got his opportunity. A lot of Brett Favre. So that's George Rodgers, but we'll see if he remotely come this week. Personally, correct?
BYU.
Out west. Um, I don't not going up against Patrick Mahomes. That's keep giving to what
All right, and now in the next one we have the our very the team we were just talking about, who the Packers beat, the Arizona Cardinals, no longer undefeated on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. I'd take the Cardinals, but they have problems. I mean, between they have some COVID issues with AJ Green now out because of COVID, but also Kyler Murray is hurt, and there's a very good chance I think, or I'm not positive on that, but I think there's a very good chance he might not play against the 49ers, which would mean Colt McCoy is starting for the Cardinals. If that is the case,
John Murray here and says go.
oh, okay, well, that's good news for my fantasy team. So, but in any case, even with a hurting Murray, we saw how it was not working with the pack against the Packers. It was a struggle for the Cardinals offensively. They had massive problems, and AJ Green just decided not to turn around when they could have won the game. So all that injuries, obviously, no AJ Green's a problem. Hopkins is also hurting right now, so that's another issue. I don't want to do this to Arizona, but they have a lot of injury problems. And okay, no, actually, never mind. I'm not overthinking this. I'm taking Arizona. San Fran's not good. They're hurt. I don't care if it's in Levi's Stadium. They have a lot of injuries of their own, and they're not even as good as a team as Arizona. I mean, they had a home game against the Colts, and they got more or less swamped. Yeah, it was a monsoon. They got
Literally.
literally, yeah. But this is not really a great 49ers team. And Arizona, as much as they have some different injury problems, Niners are infamous for having like 50 billion injury problems. So I'm just going to take Arizona. Hope for the best.
I'll go. I'm as Arizona as well. Same time they played a couple weeks actually. They lost at Arizona 17-10 last time. Um, so I think it was not perform well against the 49ers. I don't know if they, like you're saying, all those injuries. I don't know if they'll perform well again, but I think it's a touch higher. 49ers feeling at their best right now because the Lions, the Eagles, and the Bears.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's scary. Not really.
Yeah,
But
really scary. Wow. Yeah.
also the Seahawks.
All
So
games on the road, by the way. They still haven't won a game at home.
exactly. Um, but maybe if there's a monsoon, I don't think so. Cardinals are no need. Cardinals are just, especially on defense, they're just scary to play. Anyway, that's Davis Mills.
Oh, yeah. So moving on to our favorite, the Sunday night games. And honestly, it could be a decent game. I just wish, obviously, that Derrick Henry was not out for the season now. But and it kind of gives it away. But the Tennessee Titans on the road against the LA Rams. Matt Stafford and the Rams have been a tear. This is going to be Von Miller's first time to shine as an LA Ram. And conveniently enough, it'll be on Sunday night against a solid Tennessee Titan offense. So this is a good time to show off for Von Miller with his brand new team. But the Titans, they have a good team, but Derrick Henry, kind of like Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry is the heart and soul of this team. He's why they win games. Yeah, they signed Adrian Peterson. Guy is like 36, 37 years old. You really think he is going to repeat the same things he did when he was like 29, 28? Not likely. He had a decent year with the Lions, but he hasn't even played all year long, and he finally just now got signed, and no one really knows how much he's actually going to play in this game. But I am curious because it still is Adrian Peterson. He might still have something left in the tank. I honestly think it could be a decent game, but I think the Rams have a comfortable win here, especially in their home stadium, and the Titans trying to adjust to life uh, without Derrick Henry. I think that's going to be tough for the Titans. It might take them a week or two, and playing the Rams is not good. It's not a good game to try and adjust. So, give me the Rams and a comfortable win here.
At the Derrick Henry, I don't know, the Jaguars hold in your division. I mean, injuries are never to our timing. Never do we expect them to happen, or what type of injuries, or how long, or whatever. But they have a heavy run offense. I would say at least 60% of their plays are designed to run. Just, but we saw that they beat the Bills in a game on Monday night where Derrick Henry was actually solid, seldomly used. If I can put my words together, he was seldomly used over the Bills. So I can see this a close game most of the, but no one really has been able to figure out how to stop Stafford. Honestly,
No, not
even when
really.
so and
All right, and now we have our last game of the week being the Monday night game of the Chicago Bears on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Justin Fields era to the Bears is off to an absolutely horrible start. It has been miserable for the Bears. So I have the Steelers in a blowout in this game. But for the Bears, it's just Fields has been getting sacked constantly. It's not going well for Chicago. They're thinking that they had the quarterback of their future, and now we see them play. But now we see the Bears with Justin Fields, and it's been a disaster. Now, is part of it maybe that the offensive line for Chicago is not great? Maybe it's because there's no David Montgomery in the backfield? Maybe, but this still is not a good Bears team. Fields is not off to a good start. None of this ends up helping out Chicago whatsoever. I have Pittsburgh at Heinz Field easily in this game.
I agree completely. Bears best, I don't know, an offensive line in the draft maybe every once in a while. They pick up a player. No, not really. Apparently not. That's the Colts how that works out. You get an early retirement from Andrew Luck. That's what happens when you don't invest in your offensive line. Really nothing. That's what you're going to do with Justin Fields. I don't think he's an answer. I by no means comparing Justin Fields to Andrew Luck. I'm comparing the situations are similar with the offensive lines. Because if you ever want a quarterback to come play with you, got to give him more than 3 seconds to throw the ball. Honestly, and it almost hurts as much watching Justin Fields get sacked as often as he does as it is to watch Davis Mills throw a ball. I'm sorry. I am dogging on Davis Mills quite a bit in this video, but they just risky to watch them play. But the Steelers, they seem to be heading back on the right track. They got a couple wins and a bye the past couple weeks. They got big wins against the Browns and the Seahawks. Good pick me ups. They're back home. And they got the Bears. The Bears. Sorry, I said that.
The Bears.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the Steelers winning this one. Very tough.
Yeah, this season in 158 attempts, passing attempts for Justin Fields, he has been sacked this season 26 times. 26 times this season. And now he plays the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Imagine what's going to happen in this game. I mean, he got sacked 9 times against the Brown defense. It's going to be miserable for. Ask Russell Wilson. He's done it before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, but that's yeah, but that's it for this week. We have 4 teams on bye this week. Fortunately, being the Lions, and also fortunately being the Seattle Seahawks. I don't have to deal with either of those teams this week. And then we have the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Washington Football Team also on bye here in Week 9. So that is all from us. We will see you maybe tomorrow. I'm not really sure if we'll be doing NCAA football mid-season reviews. Maybe if we have time, but that's going to be a lot of episodes to do. Maybe we'll take like 15 each because I don't want to go like a half hour on one conference at a time. That'd be awful. So that'll be.
Half an hour on
Well, that I can. That I'll let go. But everything. No, that's kidding. No, we're not talking about Michigan for a half hour. I don't. We could go on for 2 hours about Michigan. We could write a book about the Wolverines, for God's sake. We're not doing that. So that is all from. And then Kelvin, for some reason, is a Sparty fan. Anyway, we will see you on the next video, whether that's mid-season reviews or whatever that is. We'll see you next time. Adios, everyone.